as you can already see, who am I? I am a loudmouth jerk. Maybe not, but I try. Yeah, I've been on staff here with NDK for 10 years now, so since NDK number 5, it's kind of terrifying to watch this con grow, but I love it. You guys are what make this place amazing, so I don't just get up here and pretend like I know what I'm talking about. I did actually graduate from culinary school. Yeah, so I'm not just obnoxious. I do love food, if you couldn't tell. And I force it down everybody's throats. Yay! Who's coming tomorrow morning? Is anybody else braving it? Do you all have tickets? Okay, because there's only 35 spots for my panel tomorrow morning. This thing is making an inordinate amount of noise, or else I'm really lousy at this. So, that's right. We're all going to participate today. You! Yes. Come on in. That's all right. We haven't started yet. Entrez vous. That's French. All right. So, somebody tell me what food means to you.
Yum.
Eat. Yum. Okay. What's that? Culture. That's true. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I can get behind that. Wow, I made my panel really irritating. I need to fix this. I just want to click and make it work. So yeah, to me, it's more than just your ingredients and a recipe. It's more than just the liquor for those of us who are old enough to drink. Wow, okay, work. Stop being slow. To me, it's a way of life. I mean, that's why I'm a chef. I work right here in the hotel. We make all kinds of great food. I really help set up. Have you guys seen the new menu we have set up for everybody out here this weekend? Got all kinds of Japanese food, so it was a big part of helping in getting that all set up. Has anybody eaten out there yet?
I had the yakisoba yesterday.
What'd you think?
That was awesome.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. What'd you think? Great. What'd you have?
I actually had a restaurant.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay. If I could read my handwriting, I'd be dangerous.
Wing it, man.
All right, well, we're done. So, you know, food is a way of showing people that you care about them, and that's my main reason that I cook, and I love to cook for people. And did my computer do something weird? Yes, I backed up somehow. Technology is not my strong suit. I'm sorry? Okay, well, I don't know how you can help, but we can try. If somebody wants to click along, you know, that's what I have. Ooh!
There is a way to get rid of that animation.
Is there?
Yes.
Okay,
You would have to get out of PowerPoint.
maybe I'll fix that later. Can you come after, like, the panel? We'll try and leave some time.
Okay.
So, if you read the description, today we're talking about why people eat the way they eat. And we're focusing on the Japanese because it's an anime convention. So, yeah, I think that's why we're all here. I thought this was Starfest, and I wore like my Spock ears, and then they laughed at me and thought I was an elf. So, geography, climate, ooh, natural resources, and the people who are around them. So we're going to look at all of that, and we're going to apply it to Japan, because it's a pretty straightforward template. Did I hear an excuse me, or am I deaf? Okay. So, no? Okay. Okay, cool. So Japan has 128 million people in it. And it's a very small country if you've ever looked at it on a map. I think if I remember correctly, it's about the size of California. So there it is. Japan. Ooh. Time for a geography lesson. So, in the past, I've been corrected on this many a time. Japan is not an island. It is an archipelago, which means many little islands all in a little string. So, I'm sorry if I misinformed you in years past. It's really embarrassing to get it corrected by an 11-year-old, I have to say.
Fifth grader.
What's that? Yes, I am not smarter than a fifth grader. It's true. I can use the internets real well, though. So, Japan is really mountainous, in case anybody didn't know that. But why is it so mountainous? And I have this really hard to see picture on here on the screen, at least. Because it sits on 3 different tectonic plates. Come on in, guys. There's like 8,000 chairs open. Everybody say hi. Yeah. Yes, you will be made to perform if you're late. Okay, that's not true. So why is it, well, we're past that. It's got lots of volcanoes because it's on the 3 tectonic plates. And it's part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. No, not the man in black. I always forget his name. Johnny Cash. There we go. Which is basically the whole thing on the Pacific Rim. There's lots of volcanoes everywhere, like Hawaii. Okay. Hello. Everybody say hi. That includes you coming in the door. You have to say hi to. There you go. So, being on the 3 tectonic plates and having all of those volcanoes, uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
The pamphlets are able, but they're looking.
Okay, so I was going to have handouts for everybody, but they're looking for them. But you'll have recipes and stuff, hopefully, shortly. But, like we said, it's incredibly mountainous, really steep, and it's got a lot of fertile soil on there, but it's really soft. So historically, this causes a lot of mudslides. But there are a lot of trees there, so it's not always that bad, but they've used the trees to build a lot of homes in the past. Now they're technological and fancified, but ooh, climate. Who's ready for the weather report? I don't have one. So, climate is simply the weather as it pertains to a long periods of time in any given area. In this case, Japan. Am I holding this too close to my mouth? Because it sounds like I'm making lots of pee noises. It's a temperate climate, so it has 4 distinct seasons, and it tends not to have any extreme highs or lows, although Japan can have very unpredictable weather.
Colorado.
Yeah. We know how that goes. Anybody who was at Starfest 2 years ago knows what we're talking about. The weather will be great. Here's 3 feet of snow. Hi, come on in. Everybody say hi. Hi. Hey, there we go. You guys learned quick. Thank you. It does vary some. They do have pretty warm summers, and up north they have some really bitter winters and deep snow. That's not really deep, but that's the best I could find. So. Shh. I'm talking.
We can close that door.
Yeah, I guess we could. They can come in the middle door. So, does anybody feel like volunteering to close the door? Yay! He helped me with the microphone and the doors. So, only about 15% of Japan's land is actually suitable for farming, which isn't very much. Although they do really well for rice production. And like I said earlier, it makes for a lot of lumber. Yeah, excitement. I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to repeat myself. So with all these landslides and fires and stuff, the Japanese developed a really tremendous work ethic. I'm sure everybody kind of knows about that. They put everything they have into everything they do. They try to make it the best out of everything. They're also very practical. Up until really relatively recently, most of their currency was measured in rice and not gold. Everybody say hello. Hello. So, I didn't call this neighbors. This is influences from other cultures. We'll start with the big one. Everybody knows China, I hope. It's that big country that's not Russia.
Canada?
Oh, yes. It's not Canada either. They made contact with the Japanese around the 2nd century BC. And they provided Japan with the majority of their education, teaching them how to write and numbers and all of that stuff. And their major culinary influence, because that's what we're here for, was rice. I do have one more. Cool. They brought over a lot of large amount of cooking methods. I should read and talk at the same time. But yeah, that was the Chinese. A lot of the other influences that we've seen were the Spanish, the Portuguese, the Dutch, and the English. They all kind of made contact from the 1700s up until the 1800s. That can't be right. I don't know. Anyways, so everyone from the West were considered barbarians, not Conan, as you can see on the slide. Yeah, I know. Arnold's not that hot anymore. I'm really sorry. He tries. Has anybody seen his new movie? I didn't see it. With like every action star on the face of the planet.
The Expendables.
Yeah, there we go. Was it good? Yeah. Okay, cool. I have to see it. So they were called Nanban, barbarians, and any dish with that word in it is refers to anything that was influenced by all these people. It's also a style of furniture. Not all that exciting, but So they brought a lot of new foods over to Japan. Watermelon, sugar cane, chili peppers, which were only in the New World. Chili peppers were, it's kind of hard to think of some of the Asian foods without a lot of these spices in them, but most of them didn't exist until after Columbus and all of that. Did you just sneak in? No? Just moving over? Okay. I'm not paying that much attention. It's, like I said, 9 a.m. I'll wake up like 11, and then you guys won't be able to get rid of me. So they also brought over figs, potatoes, and squash.
Potatoes also from the world.
Yes, potatoes are also New World. They're very South American. Up in the mountains was where they originally grew. I believe up above like 15 to 20,000 feet. So in Peru, they were great. Nobody else knew what a potato was. So who made the largest contribution, though? Don't cheat. Okay, cheat. It was the Portuguese, the Jesuits. Everybody say hi. Hi. Hi, Jared. Sweet.
I'll be out of the way in a minute. Just keep looking out of the way.
Cool. So they introduced the idea of battering and frying foods in oil. Who likes fried foods? I hope everybody does. Most of us do, at least. That's yeah, I'm getting too old. I can't enjoy the fried foods like I used to. But so they call that tempura. A lot of times I think that came from the root of the Latin word temora, which was the ember days, kind of the end of the world. Everybody say hi. Hi. So after we had all of these barbarians came in, Japan broke out into civil war. In the early part of the 17th century. And work. Please. I love you. There you go. So the entire region began to destabilize as all of the warlords really began to fight amongst each other. They all wanted to be the shogun, which was the ultimate kind of, forgive me, badass. You know, they killed everybody in their way. And they ruled the country in the emperor's name. He just became kind of a figurehead. Did you have a question?
No, I was going to say that if you have problems with hitting the mouse, just use the arrows on the...
Oh, yeah. I liked it, but I like this because then I can, like, maybe. That's not what I was talking about. My netbook is kind of lousy. I apologize. We'll just keep going. During this time, the barbarians were all kind of forced out of Japan, and they closed their borders because we didn't want to die. So this is where I'm wrong. It couldn't have lasted 260 years because it's not the year 2060. Everybody say hi. Hi. Hi there. This is what we're doing to everybody, so don't feel too embarrassed. So during their isolation, Tokyo became the capital of Japan, which is where the shogun set up its residence. And this really gave the Japanese food the time it needed to develop its own identity. It had been kind of blended and marred. Everybody say hi. Hi. Or welcome back. There we go. You know, from all of the Chinese and the white people. And so each of the regions around Japan, they became really competitive with all of their food. And they all felt theirs was the best, because don't we all? I mean, really. And the best food, they said, was always centered around Kyoto, which is where the emperor lived. And he always got the best of everything. The shogun ruled the country, but he got to live a life of luxury. So I could handle that. Restaurants. The first restaurant in Japan actually opened around the end of the 17th century. So the first restaurant in the world actually opened up in China around the 12th century. And the first ones in Europe didn't open until 1725. So kind of cool facts there. So Japan was forced to reopen their borders by the Americans. We really weren't very nice to them.
We tried to be. They didn't want to have anything to do with us.
Well, kind of everybody tried to be, but they had every right to say, no, leave us alone. But we showed up with a bunch of modern warships and knocked on their front door. It worked. And we started importing meat because, you know, fish isn't a good substitute for protein. Anyways, all right. So now that you're all tired of listening to me talk about history and climates, and I don't see any pitchforks yet, and you people are chuckling at my picture at least, so that's a good sign. what does this all have to do with Japanese food? Well, it's driven them to eat fish, rice, and vegetables. Ooh. So they've been influenced to be very high energy, small portions, not potions. I'll drink some potion here. Potion. So that their soldiers and farmers could easily carry around all their food with them all day and not have to worry about it too much. Which is where the bento box kind of came in. Everybody loves bento, I think. Bento.